Shadows of Hong Kong, huh? So, alright, this is some more Shadowrun. I've played a couple different Shadowrun games on the stream before. This particular one is actually the most recent game that has been released. I think it was maybe released about 5 years ago. And pretty much always make like the same character. And it's just you gotta make, whatever character you want. There's obviously like this huge like RPG aspect to the game. I generally think I use Decker. Methinks. Like, so in the Super Nintendo version of Shadowrun, which was released right around the same time as the Sega Genesis Shadowrun, which are different games. This is usually like the guy that I use right here, because in the past I've used, or there was a character named Steelflight, and Winston Mars, the guy that I play on the stream with sometimes, and I have done a bunch of Shadowrun stuff in the past where we've played games together, and like back in the day, like Super Nintendo, like passing the controller back and forth type stuff, But and Winston Mars is actually a character on the Sega Genesis version. But the Steelflight character was kind of always the character that stood out to me because he was just really cool looking. And so I dug on Steelflight pretty good. But like there isn't really like a Steelflight, avatar. Like that's kind of close as far as like the hairstyle, but Steelflight was like a pasty white elf, and that was definitely like a more brown. It's like you're going through here like trying to find like, okay, like what's the closest? It'd be like a gray hair. Long gray hair. Like that's kind of close. Like maybe like Steelflight, maybe Steelflight cut his hair recently or something. He definitely didn't have like a bunch of tats or anything like that. Would probably be pretty close to him. But anyways, when I've created the characters in the other games, I actually really liked how this guy right here looked. I thought he looked pretty slick. So. And you can change the hairstyle and everything, but I don't really like the idea of that because then you're... There we go. I don't really like the idea of that. See, I don't know. I don't think his hair's green, is it? It doesn't really look green to me. But see, now he's got frickin'... He doesn't have a beard, really. I don't really see, like, do you see just like a little goat? Like, I don't know, like that's pretty close, I guess. I also don't think they have that many, like, hairstyles. No, that wasn't it. I mean, that's a little bit closer, I think, than what we actually had earlier. In fact, that might be the closest. But I wish he didn't have freaking goggles on, but whatever. I'm like totally out of the frame here, huh? I'm like sitting all up close to it. Yeah. And it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's like his beard is gray, but like in the picture, his beard is not gray. So, yeah, there you go. That's probably about as close as we're really gonna get. Oh, he's got a big old stash there. I think he's right there. Yeah. That's about as close as we're gonna get. And then again, the glasses are off, and I didn't like that one, and I don't like that one. I like the glasses, but you can't have the same glasses, so now you have blue glasses. Whatever. Well, anyway, so now you can spend all this karma, and so you have to figure out like what do you want, you know. The higher the charisma that you get. So an elf can have like super high charisma, so you can actually, you know, talk a little bit more about stuff. So, and really, this is, in my opinion, this is just like make whatever you want, because sometimes you're just gonna have to fight, you know, like if you can't pass a speech check, you know. But so like Steel Flight, like in my opinion, well, he's Shadowrunner. So like that's pretty good there. And then like you can come up there, you know. If you get your charisma up pretty high towards the start, I don't know what you can like build up. I'm not really sure, but I don't think we need a whole lot of, like, we do want, I mean, like, the biggest thing that we're going to do is we're just going to have, like, I mean, we definitely want him to have ranged combat. So we want him to have a rifle. Like, the whole idea is, like, we're going to have him have a rifle. But then... but I think we're definitely going to go up in charisma. So we have like Shadowrunner, Socialite, not really, Gang, I don't like. So like Academic, Security, and Corporate. And so I kind of like the idea of Security and Shadowrunner. So that's fine right there. So I think we're done with the charisma. So now like you come to body, you can of course get, I think, is that my limit for, oh yeah, there you go. So we can actually get a whole lot more than that. Additional weapon slots. I mean, like, that could be pretty good. Oh, so you need, like, your quickness to get up there. And I would say... yeah, we definitely want to roll rifle, I think. And then, like, body... like, is there anything else that's 2? Throwing close combat. Decking. Oh, yeah. Definitely, because we're going to be a decker, right? So we're going to... well, unless we don't want to be a decker. We could actually just be the speech check guy. You know, like where everybody else on the team kicks ass. That could be what we could do also. Okay, so we have 2 and 2 there. The charisma, we could just keep going. Conjuring, summoning spirit, and spirit control. We don't care about any of that. I think all we really want is to unlock the etiquettes. So, like, we could severely cripple him. And we could go in... no, that won't get us there. We have to get some more karma. So we could just save the karma. I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to remember. I mean, like, we're definitely going to be rifle guy, though. So we might as well just definitely get some rifle going. Might as well get our body up to a little bit more. Oh, it wants us to choose an etiquette. That's pretty cool. She's like a really smart Shadowrunner security. I'm cool with that. Name your character. Big Willie. So you could just do like, we'll call him Steel Flight still. Maybe he's just not like a decker anymore. You know? And, I don't know. Just John Doe, I don't care. Let's play this game. Let's play it. I want the pan to be...
Hi, it's Raymond. I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that,
Bojangles.
loses all power over you. Yeah, I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place, but you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please, if our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here. I'm begging you. I'm almost out of time.
Yes. Scenery is so cool. So I haven't beat this game, but I did beat the other two Shadowrun games that came out, you know, in the last decade, all the Harebrained Schemes games. But this one I have not beat. I only got a few hours into it. I either got stuck or bored with it or something. I don't know, but we're gonna give it a shot. Huh. Here we go. Let's do it. This is maybe... If I read faster than everybody else... Ugh. I also don't want to read it, though, because then it slows me down. Guess I could just read it. Two figures stand waiting in the dim light of the pier. The first is an orc, lean, with in-your-face muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. Well, don't you look like shit. Duncan Wu, the closest thing you have to a brother. You haven't seen the man in 8 years. Still as charming as ever. He grins. Green's not really your color, John. Doesn't go with that nice new armor I got you. As you open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach. A liquid, bubbling sensation. So we have 4 choices here. I'm almost always going to pick the one that I have enough. Like the speech check. Because that's like how you get more experience. So this is Tough It Out. It requires body 3. Don't know what you're talking about. Must be the harbor lights messing with you. Must be. Guess you've still got some of your old fortitude at least. He laughs. Considering how much synthahol we used to put down, I'd be surprised if you couldn't handle a little chop. Anyway, we gotta go find Raymond. Where's the old man? Never showed up. He's still got that same baritone rasp. Had it since he was 12. Wu developed early. No sense standing around then. Where's the meeting place? Not far, just on the other side of the pier here. He jabs a thumb behind him. The woman, her name's Carter. The woman standing beside him breaks in. We should get going, Duncan. Head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan Wu's gone private police. You his partner? Unfortunately, yes, although partner's not the right word for it exactly. I like superior officer better. She grins. I let him carry my coffee for me, write my parking tickets, that kind of thing. The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Carter. I figured I could use some backup. Didn't know what Raid got himself into. I wasn't sure you were going to show up. It's a tossed off remark, but there's an undercurrent of resentment in it. Of course I showed up. Yeah, well, I wasn't so sure, you know. He shakes his head. Hey, look, I'm glad you're here, John. Seriously, but I'm going to need some time to get used to having you around again. Been a while since I heard from you, know what I mean? Memories of sleepless nights and lockup flash by. Wondering if you'd ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wondering if you even wanted to. And then, stepping out into the daylight, suddenly free, the fallout of some obscure corporate restructuring. A few hundred new yen worth, that's the money, that's the currency, worth of apology from your former jailers, and a decision to start a new life, to leave the past behind, all of it, until now. I know I've been out of touch. Wu stares at you, his goggles reflecting the harbor lights. You could say that, yeah. He scans the waterfront, frowning. Let's just find Raymond. He was supposed to meet us in the plaza on the other side of this pier. The sooner we find him, the sooner you all can have a big happy family reunion over dinner. Carter grins. And the sooner I can find a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Ahead of you, Hong Kong rises serpent-like from the sea. Government and Megacorp coiled together, writhing in their basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and its tail begins. That's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts on the pier. Carter follows. Fresh construction is expanding the harbor out into the water. Corporate interests can afford to create... Okay, I should read faster. Okay, that area is locked. The guard check at the end of the pier is dark and empty. Duncan gives the gate a push, but it doesn't budge. Huh, well, that was open earlier. Duncan frowns. Looks pretty solid. Guess we'll have to find another way to reach the plaza. Guess so. Strange that there's no one here, though, isn't it? Who knows? It's Hong Kong. Not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, rookie. We can cut through the construction site. I hate it when you call me that. I'm assuming that they're talking about right here. Security checkpoint. The gate is locked, but the nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open with a metallic screech that pierces your skull, sending a new wave of pain down to your churning stomach. She examines the control panel for a moment, then throws Wu a backward glance. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the other side of this gate. I think I can bypass that lock. Intelligence 3. Let me take a crack at that. Carter steps aside to let you get at the panel. Enjoy. This is a civilian area and security is light. You bypass the door circuit with ease. The gate rattles open. So, basically, what happens in combat in this game... Okay. The group on the dock was fishing a package out of a speedboat when you surprised them. Now the package is at the bottom of the bay, and the speedboat is disappearing into the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. The light of the harbor glints off their weapons as they approach. The leader shouts something in Cantonese, but it's too fast to make out. You're rusty. It's been years since Raymond's house and the language lesson. That wouldn't end. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. Wu speaks with authority. His Cantonese is as solid as ever. He never let it drop. You guys doing some late-night fishing? The smuggler smiles. Oh yeah, we're fishing for assholes. Wu points at their weapons. You're gonna need some better bait. All you're gonna catch with that is trouble. Whisper to Duncan. Seriously, did they teach you that in Rent-A-Cop school? Try out your Cantonese. We're just passing through. Why don't you put the guns away? Shout in Cantonese. Lone Star, laid on your weapons. Let's try out our Cantonese. Her spokesman laughs, looks at his crew. Hey, you talk good Cantonese, baby. Real authentic. He keeps laughing. Actually, you just told me you're gonna crap a gun. Wu flashes his badge. Lone Star, put the guns down. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or you're some kind of security guard. He grabs his rifle. Either way, this ends the same. I think he's done talking. So, we're not gonna worry about this a whole lot. So, what we've got is we have the ability to attack. So, right now we have basically, we have a rifle. We have to reload. We have... I am the main character, whatever, in control here. And what I want to do is I want to get a little bit closer, but not necessarily too close. Because I want to get a better shot on them, have a higher percentage. So like right now, we've got 4 guys here. This guy right here has a little bit of armor. The other 3 do not. I have the highest chance to hit this guy right here. So, what up, Winston? That Twitch Prime, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the shit out of you, man. I hope things are going good. Going good. So, we're going to try to hit the mage. And we did hit the mage. We took about, I don't know, a third of their health. Now, this is now Duncan. He also has like 2 points that he can use. Now, currently, he can do 62% as well. But what I really want to do is I want to get everybody behind cover. So now he has an 83% chance to hit this guy. We can actually aim right here. And that'll give us even more accuracy. But we won't be able to use it for 3 turns. I'm pretty happy with anything over 80%. Now Carter is a mage. So she basically has this power bolt. So we're going to bring her up to where she has a little bit of... concealment as well, and we are going to go ahead and try to kill this mage. Okay, we didn't get the mage killed, but that's okay. Now, because we're in cover with the 3 characters, in theory we shouldn't take a whole lot of damage. However, now that we are flanked, that's not good. She can also get flanked as well over there. So our biggest concern now probably is we're getting flanked from this side over here. So what I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually come over here with Steel Flight. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to increase this because we really want to try to get this thug down as quick as we can. So you can hit him multiple times. And she's actually stunned from the Twinston Jars. Hey yo. She's actually stunned from the fight from the last round. And she's kind of getting her shit pushed in. So this needs to start going better for us. So he's at 67%, which is still the highest percent. So we'll just... Okay, there we go. We got a kill, so that's good. And we can use a basic medkit. We are now currently controlling Duncan. We're not going to use a medkit. What we're going to do is we're going to try to kill this mage right here. And we're going to try to probably kill the mage with just this one hit. Okay, perfect. So now we actually have another hit, and we can actually hit this enforcer back here a little bit better. I don't really like 71% a whole lot, so we're going to actually aim and get it up over 80. So perfect. So now Carter is actually wounded. So we're going to have her heal herself. Which, that was not a whole lot of health. So that kind of sucks. What we can do is we can actually aim. We can increase Steel Flight's ability to aim. Because he's going to need it. Oh, damn. I was kind of hoping that they'd stay back further. If they get up close enough, they can actually kick our ass pretty good. So right here, we've got 93%. We're controlling Steel Flight again. We can either heal, or we can try to, like, burst them down. So I'm going to try to burst them down, which I think is going to prove successful right here. Perfect. So now, 68% on this last guy. And Carter can pierce armor. He has a little bit of armor. So we do want to strip the armor, actually. And then we can't heal, but we can go into the items and we can use a basic med kit on Steel Flight to make sure that he doesn't die. And the guy missed anyways, so whatever. Okay, now we can aim, so let's go ahead and aim. He missed at 75%. Let's see if he hits at 60. Perfect, he hit. So now he's only got 68%, but we're gonna try it. I'm feeling lucky. Okay, so that was our first fight, and it was actually not like we didn't kick their ass as much as I would have wanted to, but whatever. It's my first time playing this in like a couple of years for sure. So Steel Flight definitely sucks in combat, so we're gonna have to heavily rely on our other characters. Now, to me, okay, we always want to search and look around and see what you can find. So we just got up some Toko. So we're going to take the Toko, which is a drug, which we're never going to use. But what we are going to do with the Toko is we are going to sell it later on. So now we have another security checkpoint down here. Now I wonder... Okay, we do still have one karma point. And our hit points are a little low. So what we might want to do... is I think we can actually go in... Yeah, we can. So we can actually use that health if we wanted to, but we're going to hold off and maybe just try to use it in combat. Another gate panel. This one's been vandalized and busted up good. A real nightmare of a repair job. Wu stares at the fence, considering loops and whorls of razor wire glitter in the lamplight. Looks edged with monofilament. The corporations here don't screw around. Duncan and I hopped plenty of fences before. It'll be fine. Why don't we just cut ourselves an opening? Guess we better find another way through. She winks at him. What do you think? She eyeballs the job. It'll take me a few minutes, though. Frowning, she gets in to get a closer look at the mangled fuse box. A few seconds later, she starts pulling wires and yanking fuses, a look of intense concentration on her face. She's competent. Thought she was a mage. In Cantonese, John. He sounds like Raymond when he does that. In Cantonese, she's competent. I know, she runs the riot squad I'm assigned to. He continues in Cantonese. We speak only Cantonese from now on, just like we did when we lived at Raymond's. Those endless drills are about to pay off. In Cantonese. It's coming back, won't be a problem. He nods once, satisfied, then turns his back and scans the horizon. At least you can still handle yourself in a fight. We'll just say nothing. Wu says nothing back. He stands with his back to you, thumbs hooked into his belt. Remain silent. The silence between you gets louder, heavier, then it's broken by a sudden wailing screech. Wu's hand goes to his holster. The screech is replaced by the sound of grinding wheels. Glancing over the console, you see Carter grinning back at you. Got it. The light from the nearby vendor stall stabs into your eyes, triggering a throbbing ache in the back of your skull. You stop short, squinting as rough voices drift in on the wind. Where's everyone else? Where's the damn shipment? Haven't seen them yet. We just got here. The voice becomes irritated. Longway's probably waiting for us, so we can haul it out of the boat for him. That lazy bastard. Let's just hang out here. Let him find us. Looks like we're on a stroll through Smuggler Central. These gangers don't know we're here. We could probably just slip past. Or we could clip them. They're already looking for us. Might be better to take them out now while we've got the element of surprise on our side. While unaware hostiles are on screen, press the unholster button to enter turn-based combat mode. Okay. So right here, we can actually... Whoa, we took the crap out of that street mage right there. He's got a 91% chance to hit him. And she's got 71% chance there. I didn't realize flanking like got that much of a jump on him. That's awesome. So now he's gonna go run away and get some cover so he can shoot back. So Steel Flight can actually come like right over here. And oh my god, he missed at 70%. So you can come down here, 86%. There we go. Good. And then she can go like right here. Hit him. So he had some cover. Oh, he actually healed himself. Okay. Oh. He hurt Steel Flight up good there. Let's see if we can... Let's cast aim on Steel Flight. You can actually like pick which turn you want to go in. So that's pretty cool. So now Steel Flight can hit this. Yeah. And then 71%. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we got done with the fight. So now we can move this crate. Oh, but because we actually fought those guys, looks like we get a little reward down here. Got a basic med kit. Perfect. So it was worth it to experience more of the game. And we got a karma. It's always good to explore. The game's so beautiful anyways. Got some more new yen. I don't remember this at all. A long ass walk. Okay. I actually think I remember this right here. Crossing the street, you can make out 4 shadowy figures loitering in the plaza ahead. Troll, orc, dwarf, elf. 2 men, 2 women. They're different from the smugglers on the dock. Alert, poised, professional. You can see they've made a token attempt to conceal their weapons. The unspoken message is clear. We're strapped, mind your manners. Wu stands up tall, takes that amused tone he gets whenever he's standing toe-to-toe with someone bigger, someone who doesn't know they're about to go down. Evening, folks. You got permits for those bazookas? Husky troll. The thick troll puts his mouth into a comic frown. Permits? Give me a minute. He makes a show of patting his pockets. Nope, guess not. I must have dropped mine in a dumpster, along with the last idiot who stepped to us. Wu coolly surveys the scene, nods in a friendly fashion. Is that right? Well then. You can almost feel Wu's cop training kick in. It's like watching a drone execute a command routine. He reaches for his rifle, brings it up quick, but it's too late. By the time it hits shoulder level, an assortment of nasty looking ordnance is already trained on his head. Carter backs him up. She whips her arms forward, fist blazing with magical fire. Her eyes sweep the scene, darting from one figure to another. All right, everyone, just be cool. The thick troll's voice is casual, amused. He shakes his gun in Wu's face. A little late for that, isn't it? Raise your weapon too. No, it's never too late to be cool. Put your hands in your pockets. I'm gonna put my hands in my pockets, act real nonchalant. The thick troll snorts a laugh. That guy looks like he could use an enema. Something we can do for you, officer? Wu's jaw tightens, but his tone stays cool and controlled. I'm looking for an old man, Raymond Black. We were supposed to meet him here. You know him? The troll nods his enormous head. Mm-hmm. Wu's voice gets an edge. You can see a vein in his temple start to pulse. Where is he? Carter sees it too, keeps her voice neutral. Easy, Duncan. The troll maintains amused eye contact, but his weapon stays trained on Wu. That's right. Easy, Duncan. Your friend Raymond never showed. We've been waiting for the better part of an hour. I think everyone can put their guns down. His voice is steady, but it's clear he's coiled. I don't think so. Not till I get some answers. Like? He muttered through gritted teeth. Like, why a group of heavily armed assholes are meeting a little old man in a construction site at midnight? The orc girl chimes in. Her tone is light. She's trying to defuse the situation. We do odd jobs for money. Wu speaks softly, but you know that means he's reaching the end of his rope. He cracks his neck. Pop, pop. What kind of jobs? She gets a wry look in her eye. Her answer's flippant. Odd jobs. This and that. Keep talking. The troll's yellow-brown tusks shift into a smile again. He needed friends, the heavily armed kind. The old man hired us to take you all on a little excursion. Wu's brow furrows. Hired you? He takes a moment, looks them over. They're an odd assortment, a cybered-up troll, an orc girl with magical fetishes, a dwarf with a cyber deck slung on her back, and a tall man standing behind them, inscrutable. All with guns trained on Wu. Understanding spreads across Wu's face. His jaw tightens. You're Shadowrunners. Troll nods. Mm-hmm. Wu's shoulders creep up. His stance tightens. This is bullshit. Raymond would never hire Shadowrunners. They're criminals. The troll corrects him. Mercenary operatives. The dwarf cuts in. Ooh, that dwarf is hot as fuck. I just remembered I had popsicles. I'm gonna go get one. She cute. I like short girls. All right. Criminal mercenary operatives. So yeah, you're right. Your buddy Raymond was associated with a bunch of hardened criminals. The troll tosses Wu a sideways smile while staring down the barrel of his gun. Sorry to burst your bubble, Lone Star. Guess you didn't know the old man as well as you thought, huh? Alright. Wu tries to shake it off, but he's struggling to process the information. You can feel the heat coming off of him. The runners sense it too, and they tense up tight. They're keyed on Duncan, and their guns are big. Looks on their faces make it clear. One wrong bead of sweat, and Wu's going down in a red mist cloud. Cutter remains completely still. Her voice is level, moderate. She's done this before. Let's all stay focused. No need for this to get ugly. She speaks quietly to Wu, who listens without turning, his focus squarely on the troll. We need to find Raymond. These are the people who can help us do that. What were you hired to do? I could tell the orc girls had enough of the tension. She blurts it out. The old man wanted us to take him into Kowloon Walled City. Waves a hand at the three of you. You two. Two large rats clinging to her hip and shoulder poke their heads out of the folds of her clothing. They fix their beady eyes on you intently. You know the Walled City? Slum, right? I've heard of it. The girl sneers, rolling her eyes. It's a shithole, the worst slum in the Eastern Hemisphere. Memories of growing up in the Redmond Barrens flash through your mind. We get it, it's a real bad place. Now why would a little old man pay you to take him there? The dwarf standing next to her nods and jumps in. Wouldn't say. He mumbled a lot too. Just kept rambling on and on about how he had to get in. Under ordinary circumstances, I never would have accepted the gig. The walled city is the last place I want to go. But the old man rolled up a truckload of new yen, and you gotta eat, right? Wu risks a glance at you. His weapon remains trained on the Shadowrunners, but a flicker of uncertainty plays across his face. Interesting story. Seems like a good time to ramp down the threat of violence, don't you think? The troll flashes you a smile. That's all tusks and no warmth. Okay, gang, I tell you what. He looks at his team and he slowly starts to load his weapon. We're all gonna put our guns down. Okay, so who just died? I think they were like from like way over here. Sound of high caliber rifle shots hangs in the air, and the red dots of laser sights sweep the area. Carter, the troll, and the silent elf lie dead in widening pools of blood. Their heads broken open like melons dropped from a 4-story building. Okay, so we still have the orc and the dwarf. The orc girl screams from cover. Nightjar. Nightjar, come on, big man, talk to me. Gut shot? No, no. She turns to the dwarf, her eyes wild with fear. Oh shit, this isn't good. A voice blares out from the loudspeaker. This is the police. Lay down your weapons, put your hands behind your head. Come out where we can see you. Duncan Wu, John Doe. Come out where we can see you. You have 3 seconds. Duncan crouches behind cover, his gaze locked on Carter's corpse. His voice comes out in a hoarse roar. Stand down, damn it. I'm law enforcement. Lone Star, Lone Star. He's driven deeper into cover by a hail of gunfire. The dwarf shakes her head at him. Her voice is flat. Save your breath. They won't listen. Use your eyes. These bastards aren't here to make arrests. A sniper shot hits the wall next to her head, showering her an explosion of plaster. We need a way out of here now. Everyone pipe down. Just give me a minute. The rat girl stares at the ground intently as if listening. Then her brow furrows, her eyes go beady, and her nose wrinkles up. She begins to sway back and forth, her lips moving soundlessly. She snaps out of her trance. Okay, I've got a way out. It's at the end of the street. Everyone come with me. Everyone? We don't need the rent-a-cops, Gobbet. We're the only ones. Little orc whips her head towards her friend. Their extra firepower is, I got us an exit, but we got to get past the heat, and we can't shoot our way out of this on our own. If nothing else, they can suck up a few rounds for us. She turns to you, her pupils pinpricks of intensity. Just stick to cover and keep close. There's a door down the street that leads to a back alley. That's our exit point. You fall behind, you get left behind. Okay, so we got to get to that. think we want Duncan right there. Maybe even up a little bit further. Okay. So she has some health. She can also aim shot. Okay, Gobbet. Spray and pray. She can tell Steel Flight to cover. Or to aim better, whatever. Oh, shit. Definitely didn't realize that was going to be happening. So we're currently flanked. Now, I wonder if Gobbet... Let's get Gobbet over here to summon that spirit, baby. Just keep missing that, bruh. Keep missing, bruh. Nice. Okay, so you have to stay in cover with her for sure. I mean, I didn't really realize that... Whatever. Fuck it. Okay, so this is Steel Flight, right? So let's aim shot this dude right here. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We don't need to aim shot that. Okay, cool. So now... So she used her basic trauma kit or whatever, huh? Poison fog, okay, haste. And she can also heal. I'd say heal yourself. No wound to heal? Wounded. Oh. It's weird. I don't know what the access point, what happens there. Okay. Okay, so decking. So we could probably, who's our decker? We don't really have a decker anymore, huh? So we can go right there, and then... I mean, I guess we could have her heal up. Yeah, that's probably good there. You're just gonna have to stay. Okay, so nobody's really decking, huh? We just gotta get up closer so we can actually hit something. Let's have Duncan go up right there as well. Oh, those are the drones. So yeah, if we had a little bit more decking, we could have activated those drones to help us out. Oh well. Alright, so we need her to bump up. Heavy cover in the open. She like only have like one freaking move or what? What's the deal here? I really have no idea what just happened there. Oh yeah, they're gonna start summoning stuff. I'm not feeling good about this. Now we have another target. Not feeling good about this. She really only ever has one freaking move, huh? Let's just go there then, I guess. I just definitely don't understand what's happening right there. Okay, so... I don't really want her to move up until she has like a friend to sit there and heal her too. I mean, mostly we just need to keep hitting this conjurer, I guess. We could also throw a nade up there. Oh. I don't think I understand what's happening here. What the hell was that? That's kind of interesting. Okay, so Steelflight should probably go ahead and heal himself up. Maybe even just use both of them. And, oh, we missed all of them, but it did unbalance the one guy. So I guess that's good. I like it. The drones don't really seem like they want to move, huh? Let's go up. Let's go up. God, you just suck. What in the world? Oh, we have to attack this damn thing now? You have got to be shitting me. It just like totally wiped me out. That is wild. Let's just everybody go ahead and miss a bunch. Oh, we need to start moving. We're getting flanked. It'd be really nice if we could hit something here. I mean, you don't have a whole lot else, huh? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so she can get out of here. Steel Flight can now bump all the way up to there. And then he should be able to get out of the next turn. Everybody should be able to get out right now. That was tight. That was tight like a tiger. The rat shaman guides you from the doorway on the street through an eternity of winding alleys, damp sub-basements, and empty buildings. Stumbling through refuse and filth, you make your way into the sewers below Victoria Harbor. It reeks down here, but it's quiet. Gobbet stops, sniffs, and wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. Her rat squeaks softly in the folds of her clothing. The dwarf watches her silently for a moment, then moves closer and gently takes her hand. In the dim light of the sewer, you can see they're nearly the same age, no more than 20, 21 tops. What were their names? She keeps her head down and tells it to the floor. Troll you were talking to was Nightjar. He was our friend. The elf was called Gutshot. Kind of an asshole, but I didn't need to see his head splattered everywhere like that. She inhales a cleansing breath. Nightjar was a good guy. Always had our backs. Isabel's and mine. Isabel nods in agreement. Her voice is flat. Rare to find a runner that you can actually trust. She looks to her friend. Are we clear? Gobbet looks back the way you came. I think we've shaken him. She sniffs the air. Yeah, we're clear. Wu begins pacing, his boots splashing in the sewer water, creating echoes down the tunnel. You can feel the tension coming off of him in waves. This is bullshit. I'm done messing around in alleys and sewers. I'm done running from cops. He pokes a thumb at his chest and spits his anger forth in a raspy growl. For fuck's sake, I am a cop. We noticed. There's a Lone Star Sergeant dead back there. Damn it, she was... Wu starts to choke up. He struggles against it, fighting to maintain control, but he needs a minute to recover. He finally manages to pull it together, but he's raw. When he speaks again, his voice is seething and hoarse. I don't know what the hell is going on with this Hong Kong cops, but I'm calling in some Lone Star backup from home. I'm going to get some of my own people down here. Then we're going to find Raymond and figure out what the hell is going on. The little orc shrugs. Whatever you say, big guy. You have fun with that. She looks over at her friend. They both nod. Iz and I are out of here. Best of luck finding your friend. People died in a hail of sniper fire. You're not going to do anything about it? Of course we're going to do something about it. In fact, we're going to do two things. Run and hide. Look, we got you to safety, but now we are done with this shit. We don't intend to die for you. Wu isn't listening. You can see on his face that he's already written the orc girl off. He pulls his security-grade PDA from his holster on his left leg, raises it, and starts tapping the buttons with a meaty finger. The Lone Star logo on the back of the device looks shiny and official. He stops, confused, and taps it again harder. The red flashing image on the PDA reflects in his goggles. What the hell? I'm locked on the network. He looks up at you. My law enforcement status has been revoked. He goes back to the screen. I don't believe it. This is saying there's an APB on us, John. You and me both. I figured as much. You heard him on the loudspeaker. They knew our names. Wu glares at the wall, a storm raging across his face. Fucking hell. His hand clenches into a fist around his PDA. This just keeps getting worse. He leans forward as if to punch the wall, his knuckles rapping against it softly. A pantomime of barely constrained rage. Suddenly, he turns and slings his PDA at the far wall. It hits hard, bounces back, and clatters to the ground at his feet. He looks down at it, spent. The orc mouths an okay to herself, eyebrows raised. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Come on, Isabel, let's... She's cut off by a sudden smashing noise as her friend's boot comes crashing down on the PDA at Wu's feet. The dwarf looks down at her work, unsatisfied, and brings her boot down again and again and again until there's nothing left but a snarl of plastic housing, broken glass, and circuit board. She looks up at Wu, her chest heaving, and points at the pile of scrap she's created. Police issued. They can trace you through that. She turns to you, hand out. Yours too. It's on the network. Smash it yourself. We bury our own. You crush the PDA to shards under your foot while Isabel looks on blankly. Good. She looks over at Gobbet, sighs, then reaches into her jacket pocket, pulling out 2 new PDAs. She hands them to you and Duncan. Burners, I suppose, is the least we could do after your help back there. Thanks. Now what? Now we get out of this sewer and head our separate ways, right, Iz? Isabel isn't listening. She's staring open-mouthed at her own PDA, its bluish glow illuminating her horrified expression. Gobbet, we gotta go. Right now. Isabel's voice is monotone but emphatic. She holds up her PDA to show her friend. They're after us, too. Her screen displays a local newscast. Your own face stares back at you from the upper left corner of the screen. It's pretty cool. And in breaking news, just under an hour ago, Hong Kong port authorities were involved in a firefight with members of a terrorist cell linked to the mainland city-state of Henan. The battle left 3 terrorists dead, along with an unconfirmed number of Hong Kong police officers. Your image winks out, replaced by a scowling image of Duncan Wu, a mugshot from a long time ago, before Raymond. Our sources report that Seattle natives Duncan Wu and John Doe, along with their Hong Kong-based accomplices, are still at large. They are well armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. Low-res photographs of Gobbet and Isabel pop up on screen, replacing Duncan. The color drains out of Gobbet's face. Oh, shit. Kowloon officials report that the terrorist cell, known as the White Star, maintains ties to the state of Henan, and it is purported to be receiving weapons and funding from anti-corporate groups in the UCAS city-state of Seattle. Port authorities are standing on high alert, and the Hong Kong Police Force's Special Duties Unit has been engaged to deal with the threat. We go live now to Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit, who will be making a statement. Behind the newscaster, a video window displays the location of your firefight in Victoria Harbor. The camera pans to Chief Inspector Crate. She is surrounded by a swarm of news reporters, but appears unfazed by the attention. She speaks with supreme confidence. We have yet to ascertain the motive for tonight's attack, but it was clearly a well-planned and coordinated effort. Crate sounds smooth, more like a corporate mouthpiece than a cop. We have already issued an all-points bulletin, APB, along with a kill or capture order for the 4 remaining terrorists, and I have instructed the Special Duties SDU unit to make this manhunt a top priority. She looks directly into the camera. If you should see one or more of these individuals, do not attempt to engage them. Instead, tap in the HKPF flash code at the bottom of the screen. If you are on an authorized network and take a picture, our system will automatically identify them in your data stream. The Decker switches off the newscast and clips her PDA back into her belt. Which one's the Decker? The dwarf. Why didn't I do that? I knew I had a Decker, and I didn't use her. Whatever. For a moment, there's no sound but the roar of sewer water rushing through the pipes. Gobbet bends over, hands on her knees, sucking wind. Her rats scurry for a new position. I thought we were fucked before. Wu's voice is eerily calm, but now we are well and truly fucked. We'll deal with it, Duncan. We always do. Wu's mouth tightens. Not this time, John. He begins stalking back and forth, a panther in a cage. They label us terrorists, and there's an APB out on us. I've heard this kind of announcement before. I know what comes with it. It doesn't matter if we have nothing to do with whatever city-state. They're going to hunt us down. It's open season. Isabel nudges the remains of Wu's PDA with her booted toe. And the two of us will be hunted down right alongside you. Gobbet wide-eyes the exits, tight as a spring. You can hear shallow panting as she leans towards one, then the other. We gotta go deep. Hit the mainland for a while until we can figure this out. Find a hole to crawl into. Gobbet looks at Isabel, wipes her mouth, points at you and Duncan. We gotta get them off the grid too. Way off. The dwarf looks up at Duncan, and her large eyes narrow. Hey, Lone Star, you've got a security license, right? It means you've got a SIN too. Wu's brow furrows. Of course I have a SIN. I wouldn't be able to get paid otherwise. Only criminals and lowlifes go sinless. She runs her hands along her cyberdeck, thinking, that means you can be traced. Both of you. You get spotted by a drone or a security camera, get ID'd by a retinal scanner, or try to use your cred sticker password, and the HKPF will know just where to find you. Wu crosses his arms across his chest. I know a system identification number works, runner. We're gonna have to burn our sins if we're gonna survive this. The two women nod. You got that right, Seattle. Gobbet pulls at her dreadlocks. We're just as screwed as you are, me and Iz. We were listed as your accomplices. And we can't afford for you to get caught. You'll lead them to us one way or another. DNA samples, things we've told you, astral residue, I don't know, cop stuff. Little Decker looks from you to Wu, eyes narrowed, sizing you up. You can see her make a silent decision before she speaks. Her voice is flat, resigned. We need to get your sins burned, delete you from the record books, all of them. All of them? Whoa, wait a minute. You want us to just erase our identities? Wu rubs a hand across his scalp. Hey, he's got the same haircut I do. Beyond the fact that it's insane, will that even work? If we burn our sins, go off the grid like that, won't they just redouble their efforts to find us? Condescension seeps its way into Isabel's dry tone. Imagine playing a game of hide and seek with a siren strapped to your head. Would you rather try and hide with a siren or with a siren conspicuously absent? Let's just get on with it. What do we have to do? Gobbet's voice drops. We gotta ask for help. There's only one person we know who has the kind of pull it takes to burn a sin and hide us from the cops. Kindly Cheng. Who's Kindly Cheng? Some sort of super decker? Let me guess. Some sort of an underworld hard ass. Underworld hard ass. Like a walnut. She's what's known as a straw sandal, kind of a middle manager for the Yellow Lotus Syndicate. They're triad. Kindly Cheng controls all the illegal activity in our neighborhood: smuggling, bootlegging, counterfeiting. Sounds like my kind of scum. She leans in, serious as death. This is no joke. Kindly Chen controls a good-sized portion of Kowloon's underworld. She has soldiers, resources. She's smart. She is not to be underestimated. Isabel's voice is hollow and flat. Taking favors from a woman like Kindly Cheng is a good way to get yourself into indentured servitude. You don't want to owe favors to a woman like that. Kind of want to unwrap my headset a little bit here. Her eyes get big, round. Ideally, you don't want to deal with her at all. That was Nightjar's job. Oh, you already know this woman? We've only met once or twice. Nightjar was the one who worked with her. Like I said, she's got her fingers in everything, including brokering Shadowruns for the corpse. Corpse? Core. Corpse? Shadowruns for the corpse. As in the corporations. Kindly Cheng is our fixer. Okay, so climb up. Let's go. Sinless. I do remember this. You scramble up a ladder and through an accessway where your sewer system splits you out into the Hong Kong Mass Transit Railway System, the MTR. Above you is Hioi. Hioi? Hioi. Above you is Hioi. I like Hioi. With a rat shaman and a little decker plan to plead your case to Kindly Cheng, the one woman they know who can help you get underground and off the grid fast. But there will be a price. Cheng is a triad boss whose favors tend to come with strings attached. Sounds of a waterfront at night leak down from the stairway to the surface. Peering up the steps, you can catch a glimpse of the night sky, overcast and low. We got some karma. Sewers deposit you into a series of mechanical accessways that eventually link to a system of railway tunnels. Gobbet leads you through 5 or 6 magnetically sealed doors and across several sets of electrified tracks until she indicates you've reached your destination. She holds up her hand, indicates the surrounding platform. This is the MTR station for Hioi. Once you go up those stairs, you'll be in our neighborhood. Kindly Cheng runs her operation out of a mahjong parlor there named Swift Winds. There's an APB out on us. How do you expect us to get to the Swift Winds place without taking a bullet? Hioi is well known as a protected area. Kindly Cheng sees to that. It's a shadow community. Smugglers, hijackers, black marketers. You get the idea. Cops tend to give the place a wide berth. Isabel gives a shallow nod. Her gaze remains planted on the floor. Police cameras don't last long here. Between the smog and the cloud cover, we shouldn't have to worry about drone surveillance either. The HKPF won't find you, not if you follow our lead. It's like the subway was talking. Now here's how this is going to work. You can't get an audience with Cheng until we secure your invitation. So me and Iz will go on ahead and pay our respects. Then we'll request that she see you, politely. An invitation? How do we get that? The rat shaman smirks. We'll kiss her ass until it shines. Isabel sighs. That's about the size of it. Gobbet holds up a hand. One more thing. Kindly Cheng is a dangerous woman. She may seem friendly, but don't let your guard drop, and whatever you do, do not disrespect her. Got it. She drops her hand, nods to the three of you. That's it. We'll go on ahead and smooth the way. Just give us a few minutes head start and don't talk to anyone. Why don't we just go with you? Because no one knows you here, and outsiders aren't welcome in Hioi. Gobbet eyes Wu up and down. Plus, your friend here radiates cop. Cops are even less welcome than outsiders. Then she looks your way. And you're not exactly ordinary either, are you? I like and blend in when I need to. She smells for the first time. Not in our neighborhood, Seattle. If people see us strolling through the town together and no prior explanation, we might not make it to the Mahjong parlor at all. How do we know you're not just going to bolt on us? Thanks for the help. I get it. Thanks for the help. She squints at you, confused. We're helping ourselves as much as we're helping you, Seattle. We need your sins burned as badly as you do. And we need to figure a way out of this shit, or we're all dead. Plus, we could use the muscle right now. Her voice turns sheepish. Just saying. She quickly turns away. See you at the Mahjong parlor. Shadowrunner's footsteps quickly fall away, and then you're alone with Wu. He grunts something unintelligible and begins panther stalking back and forth again. Footprints of sewer water and muck marking his path on the subway platform behind him. Minutes pass. Wu stops his pacing and runs both hands over his face, groaning a sound of anxiety and disgust. It dissipates and he stands there silently, his hands covering his face and his shoulders shaking with emotion. Then he begins to laugh. It's a laugh that comes from down deep, from the place where fear and frustration and impotence swirl. But the barrier holds. Wu focuses, taking control of his breathing, and his laughter begins to slow. He becomes himself again. Oh my God, John. An aftershock of laughter shudders through him. Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell are we doing here? How do we get into this? Drops his hands and turns to you, shaking his head in disbelief. Think I'm gonna lose it. Bullshit, you're a rock. He exhales hard and nods his head over and over and over. Over and over. I'm trying to maintain. Seriously, I am. But Carter's dead, John. They fucking ended her. Puts a hand to his forehead. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Just focus on finding Raymond. So that's it. Just throw Carter down the memory hole and bury her deep. Put my partner's death behind me and carry on like a good little Lone Star. He holds up a hand. Don't answer. His voice goes flat. He's done. It doesn't matter anymore. We're stuck in this country, surrounded by criminals. And the police are trying to blow our heads off. He grabs the back of his neck, squeezes. Screw it. Maybe I should just let him. You know why? Because we're going to burn our sins, John. Jesus Christ, do you get what that means? The moment we do that, we're dead. To all the world, we're dead. We're wiped clean. Be right back. Counts it off on his fingers. Raymond, the house we grew up in, my career, Carter, all gone. No home, no money, no identity, nothing. He waves his hand, brushes it all away. We will be nobody. I'm gonna find a way out of this. Just follow my lead like you did in the old days. You want to bring up the old days? Are you fucking serious? You left the old days behind years ago. Whose neck cranes forward, his lower jaw thrust out ahead of him. You left me behind. You left me behind. Memories flash bright. Suddenly you're back 8 years ago on the street outside of Raymond's house, just you and Wu at the middle of the night. A little bit of a flashback, baby. I can't just leave like this, John. What am I going to say to Raymond? You know how he is. Yeah, I know how he is, inflexible. Got something to attend to, Duncan, and it can't wait. That's what you keep saying, but you still won't tell me what's going on. Why is it so important that you have to run out now in the middle of the night without even telling Raymond why? He's distraught. You can see it on his face, hear it in his voice. He used to be lost without you. Got a friend in a bind, Duncan. That's all I can say about it. I have to go help. His eyes widen. I thought I knew all your friends. He shakes his head. I don't like this, John. It sounds like the kind of shit we said we'd leave behind. Look, whatever's going on, I can tell you one thing. Raymond will not approve. I'll deal with that when I get back. I won't be gone long. 2, 3 days tops. You remember the look on Duncan's face as you walked away. The events that followed were a blur. One that you don't remember, that you don't care to remember. 3 days later, you were behind bars in a private corporate prison. No interrogation, no charges, no appeal. Years later, some corporation bought some other corporation, and the new board of directors pushed through some sort of reform agenda, and the higher-ups gave an order. Then you were out with a few hundred new yen to your name, one scary as hell non-disclosure agreement, ensuring your silence. Not that it mattered to you anymore. You were starting fresh, determined. Until Raymond tracked you down, left you that voicemail, brought you to Hong Kong, back together with Duncan Wu. Realized that Wu's been staring at you. Now let's hear it. Where the hell have you been all this time? Why didn't you contact me? At least to tell me you were alive. I wanted to, Duncan, but I was locked up tight. Corporate black site, no communication. No shit? He squints at you. Full lie detector mode. Oh fuck. I had no idea. Range of emotions play across Wu's face. He stares at the ground for some time before finally looking back up at you with a heavy sigh. Wow, I really don't know how to process that one right now. He shakes his head. I don't know. If we're still alive tomorrow, we can talk more. That shit is still too much. Is that what he said? This shit is still too much. We're marooned on this island, hunted by the cops. My partner is dead. Raymond is missing, and we're about to go see a crime lord about erasing your goddamn identities. And as a bonus, our only allies are a pair of tiny criminals who would kill us if they could, so they didn't have to deal with this. He rubs his head viciously. Listen, John, back in the Barrens, whenever I was out of control, you just handled the situation, remember? With Carter gone, I'm just a raw nerve. I'm afraid I'm going to slip back, and people are going to start getting hurt again. Got your back, Duncan. He stares at you hard like he's trying to see something inside your head. His voice comes out flat. We'll see. Just don't press it. I need time to get used to you. Now let's go meet that triad woman and get our damn sins burned. I want to rip off the bandage as fast as I can. No sign of cops. Use an intercom. Law's Techno Palace. I remember that. Triad Guard. Frederick Kafal. The original name has been sloppily painted over with black paint. Newer but somewhat weathered characters have been painted in bold brushstrokes and read Bolt Hole. That's the Mahjong parlor? That doesn't look familiar at all. The Swift Wind's Mahjong parlor, filled with the stink of cigarette smoke, the incessant click-clack of Mahjong tiles, and the grim faces of hardened gamblers. Come in, we have a lot to talk about. This is kindly Chang. You can feel every eye in the room as you cross the mahjong parlor to the middle-aged woman sitting patiently at its end. The click-clack of ivory-colored tiles stops. Hands stray beneath tables, into jacket pockets, behind backs. The woman has the face of a prison guard and the demeanor of an inmate. Her salt and pepper hair is pulled into an iron-hard bun, and beneath it, two shiny black eyes offer nothing. Buttons sewn on a doll. A nearly empty bottle of something foul rests on her mahjong table, nestled between a pair of dirty shot glasses. Tiny puddles of brown linger at their bottoms. Goblet and Isabel stand on the other side of the table, heads lowered, shoulders slumped, hands clasped. They risk a frightened glance at you as you approach. Kindly Chang's voice is nasal and rusty mean. My little pair of fuck-ups here told me all about what happened at the docks. She dips a pinky into a shot glass, brings it back to her mouth, removes it with a sharp smack. How two of my best runners had their heads put out. How you need protection and how you need to get your identities wiped before you get your heads put up too. Potentially leading the heat to my front door, placing me and everyone in my employ in danger. She fingers the rim of her glass. So wise, so very, very wise. The young shaman's eyes never leave the floor. We're sorry, Auntie, we thought. Her black eyes flash. You mustn't speak until you're spoken to, Gobbet dear. The smile turns mean. Yeah, what up, Winston? Yeah, dude, kindly. She's a hoot. Since you are one short hair away from being dumped in the river chained to Isabel's corpse, I suggest you let your new friends here do the talking for a while. Does that make sense to you, dear? Her treacle? I've never heard of that word before. Her treacle voice is back, sweet, nasal, and grinding. Dark circles ring Gobbet's armpits. Yes, Auntie. Cheng inclines her head gently. Very good. You learn so quickly. And remains silent. She pours another drink. Her cheeks are rosy, already flushed. Now, my darlings, I understand from little rat shit here that you came from Seattle to meet with my client, Mr. Black. Wu's jaw tightens at the word client. But before you could find him, the HKPF started splattering gray matter everywhere, and everything went to shit. Did you ever beat this game, Winston? I've probably played it like 10 hours or less. I've stopped multiple times, I think. I think I've started and stopped multiple times. Now you need your sins burned so you can disappear before you end up dead too, is that right? Yes, ma'am. Very good. Why don't we start with you telling me who you are? Call me Steelflight. We've already chosen a street name. How prescient of you? Cheng looks at you approvingly. Steelflight's a good name, has real character. Winston Mars knows about that, Steelflight. She flutters her eyelashes at you. Now, what's your real name? I mean, do you want me to erase your identities? You do want me to erase your identities, don't you, dear? I'll need to know who you are first. John, I do what needs doing. She rests her chin on her hand. I know the type. And how did you become someone who does what needs doing, John? Picked it up young, been in the cooler for a few. Wu's brow furrows and he shakes his head. Still can't believe it. Kindly Cheng whips her head towards Wu, a nasty retort already on her lips, but then she stops, sticks out her lower lip as she sizes him up. She turns to her lieutenant standing behind her, nodding her approval. Looks like the gun show's in town. What's your name, gun show? Wu's focus remains straight ahead. Wu's way in the back. Dragonfall the most, but this one's second. So Dragonfall was the second game, right? So you like Dragonfall, then Hong Kong, then Returns. Huh. Wu's focus remains straight ahead. Duncan Wu, I'm a cop, Lone Star. I hear there were some fresh corpses found on the docks tonight. Smugglers, I believe. Didn't sound like the Hong Kong police when I heard about it. You're doing, Duncan Wu? Wu's eyes remain fixed on a spot on the wall behind her. He smolders. I identified myself as Lone Star, but they wouldn't stand down. They had weapons. It was self-defense. She puckers her lips at him, her voice sing-song. I don't care, sweetie. They weren't my people. But now I know you're a life-taker, Mr. Gunshow. You and your friend here. She begins arranging mahjong tiles on the table in front of her. But now I'm curious, why were you meeting Raymond Black on the docks tonight? Raymond Black is our foster father. That makes her pause. Chang lifts her bottle of swill and eyes the label, connecting the dots in her own head. Interesting. A look of disgust passes over her face. Sorry, kids, but he was looking like shit when I saw him. Eyes half open, dark circles around them, dragging his feet, the whole bit. She tisks in displeasure. Your foster daddy was in a bad place. Sounds like he wasn't sleeping. Could be. From what he said, it sounded like he was having nightmares. He'd stop in the middle of a sentence and mutter something to himself. One time it was about the walls breathing or something. Another time it was about teeth. Thousands of teeth. I remember him drifting off near the end of our meeting. It looked like he was off somewhere else in his head. He said, I left prosperity in there. Then Nightjar put his hand on Mr. Black's shoulder, asked him why he wanted to go into the walled city so badly. That seemed to bring him back. When your old man opened his eyes, they were full of tears. Then he muttered something else I couldn't make out. She pours herself another shot, tosses it back, and rubs her belly. Your daddy got really irritating after a while. What do you think it means? I have no fucking clue. She grabs a long, slim cigar from a pack on the mahjong table, lights it. All right, let's get to it. She exhales smoke and points two fingers at you and Wu. You two need your sins burned, and you need them burned fast. Hong Kong dragnets are bad news. When they roll in force. Armor personnel carriers, heavy armor, heavy weapons, sorcerers, the whole thing. And they aren't coming to arrest you. She folds her arms across her chest. The thin cigar bobs in her mouth as she speaks. The good news is I can help you. With a wave of my hand, I can have your sins disappear. What you need to understand, my darlings, is that what you're asking for is not a simple request. Burning a sin isn't just deleting a number. It's wiping all reference to that number from all of the world's largest databases. It's masking your mugshot in their facial recognition database so that the first camera you walk past doesn't bring them down on you like a ton of bricks. It's covering our fucking tracks so that the act of burning your sin doesn't lead them lead them right to us. It requires contacts in numerous corporations and the UCAS government. Smoke rolls out of the triad boss's nose. It requires someone like me. Therefore, I need to make a choice. She takes another drag on her cigar and gently places her palm flat on the table. Do I kill you and dispose of your bodies before the corpse come looking for you? Or do I help you burn your sins? It's too academic. From what I've read about the triads, your first priority should be your reputation. 2 of your people were just killed. It is a loss of face. Chang rests her chin on her hand again and smiles at you coldly. So clever. So clever. Her chin stays on her hand, but her eyes look past you, surveying the Yellow Lotus soldiers in the room. Yes, I've been placed in a delicate situation, haven't I? Regardless, that's the situation whether you're alive or you're sucking dirt. She stares at you for a long moment, chin still on her hand. I was going to say, I wonder if I see any soldiers in there that they just referenced. But taps her ash on the floor without taking her eyes off of you. A low, reluctant growl rumbles somewhere deep in her throat. You live. You're clever, and I like that. I'll put your sins on the torch. However, I'll need to call in several valuable favors within my network to do it, and those favors do not come cheap. Kindly Cheng stubs out her cigar. You will owe me. Whatever you say, Auntie. Don't roll over so easily, my darling. People will think you're an ass kisser. It's unbecoming. I want you to deliver a message for me to a business associate in the walled city. The Yellow Lotus has a strong presence inside, John. Isabel can tell you all about it, can't you, dear? Isabel grew up in the walled city. Isabel's eyes remain lowered. They collect taxes for the corporations, extort protection money from shopkeepers, run drugs, guns, people. They hurt people. We do those things, yes, but to be fair, we also operate the walled city's black market. You might not be alive today if it weren't for the lifeline that we provide. Isabel clams up tight. Chang picks up a mahjong tile and turns it with her fingers. There's a red pole, a sort of enforcer, yes, on the inside. His name is Strangler Bao. Bao is a strong man, a good soldier, but he has forgotten his place. I need you to remind him. Let me guess, by remind him you mean put a bullet in his head? No, if I wanted him dead, I would have said so. Don't jump to conclusions. You aren't any good at it. She tosses you a memory stick. This is a message for Bao. You will deliver it to him in my name and then return to me. Remember, Steelflight, Bao's men are my men. By right, they should all be serving me. I would prefer it if you did this quietly without killing them. I have no use for dead soldiers. She turns to Gobbet and Isabel. One of you will go with these two Westerners to the walled city. Help them locate Bao and show them the ropes. The other will remain here with me. I have several menial and degrading tasks that will need doing around the establishment. No matter who goes and who stays, you'll both pay for bringing an APB to my doorstep. Yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Now, I'm going to find out who ordered the hit on Nightjar and do some dentistry on him with power tools. She closes her eyes and smiles with pleasure. That boy was my favorite. He sang to me sometimes. She opens her eyes again and sneers. That other one, I don't care about. Gutshot was an asshole. She turns away and waves you off with the back of her hand. That'll be all, my darlings. Return to me when you're done. Just leave. I don't think that we really need to do a whole lot just yet. Insulation on these heavy wires is cracked. They buzz and crackle occasionally as stray drips from the awning strike them. We'll do a save. Oh. Apparently it's already saved, so that's fine. Was there something I should be doing in there? High-res scale mode? No thanks. Extra blood it has in there. Alright, let's go ahead. The thug taps his earpiece, gestures with his head. Auntie Cheng said you'd be coming. You can pass. Uh-huh. Actually, I think we're just going to call the stream because I know this is going to be like, you know, the whole mission and everything, and I don't know how well you can save. Let's just try it because I do want to get 2 hours in. Either Gobbet or Isabel must be present. I like Isabel better. So. City of Darkness, Kowloon Walled City. The most densely populated spot on Earth, nearly 40,000 people crammed into 7 acres of chaos, poverty, disease, and vice. Self-contained city that collects no taxes and provides no city services. Stagnant water sits in temporary wells. Trash lies piled on roofs for controlled burns. Improvised structures lean dangerously over populated areas. It's the ideal breeding ground for all manner of illicit trade, drugs, gambling, black market trade, meta-human trafficking, and everything in between. The only law is Triad Law. And now you need to enter the septic system of a city, find a Triad enforcer named Strangler Bao, and deliver a message from Kindly Cheng. Let's do this. Yeah, we don't have anything in the stash. So we got to see if we can get through it. We don't want to open the karma screen yet. Foul, oily water rains down from above, mixes with the filth and offal and swill of the streets, turns it into a flowing slurry of unrecognizable sewage. In the distance, the sounds of back alley activity add to the ambiance at your arrival. Breaking glass, the crackling hiss of a garbage fire. Faint screams of terror punctuated by the occasional gunshot. Sex and business and violence and misery blended into one. Wu winces at the stink, waves a hand in front of his face. Raymond said that the prosperity is in the walled city, but I don't see it. Why the hell would he want to set one foot in this place? Who knows? You'd have to be insane to travel to the walled city. As I think we said, it's the worst slum in the Eastern Hemisphere, maybe the worst in the world. She does her best to suppress a shudder. Can't keep the dread from creeping into her voice. Can't believe I grew up here. Then I'm glad I brought you. You know the place. Isabel looks around her, closes her eyes. I wish that I didn't. She peers up at the catwalks and sky bridges that connect the rotting tenements, snagging architecture. Frowning, she points to a spot in the distance. There was a market over there when I was a kid. Might not be a bad place to start. Thought you knew where to find Strangler Bao. I do. We need to get into the Lotus Den. That's what Bao calls the little island of control that he's carved out for himself here. It's a stupid name, but it's stuck. He'll have guards posted at every entrance, but we might be able to find a way around them through the market. That's what Kindly would prefer. They probably aren't expecting anyone to come in force. And kick in the door, drop the guards, hand over the message, and get the hell out. Kindly doesn't want them dead. She wants them to remember where their loyalties lie. It's tough to remember much of anything when you've got a bullet in your head. I mean, we could kill him if you really wanted to. Technically, Bao is the only one that has to live, but I'd rather keep Auntie Cheng happy than piss her off again. We may need Kindly Cheng, but she doesn't own us. We make our own decisions. That's a good headspace to stay in. Glad you think so. Now let's get this done. Putrid stench emanates from the remains of this building. You see nothing that would cause it. Merchant. The bedraggled old woman looks up from her sewing at the sound of your approach. Clothing, I have good quality clothing for sale. Ever heard anyone say prosperity is in the walled city? She cocks her head like a dog listening to a noise that it can't understand. Prosperity? She sounds it out to herself. I don't know what that means. What's the news here? Anything interesting? Interesting? Here? No. Nothing changes here. Nothing changes. She settles her weight with an audible harumph. Strangler Bao is the big man now. He is very important, very impatient. You know Bao? We'd love to meet him. Well, he requested a suit, and it took only one day longer than expected. The bastard refused to accept it, she spits. You see your friend Bao, you tell him that he still owes me for my time. I don't sew for nothing. You can eat air. You can't eat air? We'll get right on that. She nods sagely. You see that you do. Now, what else do you want? Walk away. Later, Larry. Later, lady. Oh, there's a quest right here. This bloodied woman. Young woman lies on the ground. She's a bloody mess. Streaks and spatters of crimson crisscross her blouse and mat her hair. Judging by the quality of her clothing and the bag on her shoulder, you'd make her out as a student. She's out of place here as a librarian would be in a game of urban brawl. She struggles to move, but she's clearly exhausted. The dark circles under her eyes tell you that she hasn't slept in days. When the woman sees you heading her way, her face hardens. You see her hand slip into her jacket pocket, but as she studies your faces, the fear in her eyes gives way to curiosity. You guys don't look like you're from around here. A hacking cough shakes her, but her eyes remain fixed on you. You either. Who are you? I'm a student at HKU. She glances around watchfully over your shoulder at the buildings looming over her into windows nearby. Doing some research. Gotta finish before I can leave. What kind of research? Field work. I've been taking readings and gathering stories for my master's thesis on feng shui in the sixth world. Still in the data gathering phase, or are you attempting to verify a hypothesis? Student's tired face brightens. Verification. You know much about feng shui? Specifically how it applies here in Hong Kong? Plenty. And you know why my research had to be done here. You understand what the disharmony of the walled city means, magically speaking. You get how bad the feng shui is here, and that must mean how, and what that must mean for the flow of qi in the area. Yeah, I get all that. She nods satisfied. All right, good. It's nice not to have to explain concepts like harmony and qi for once. It's not qi? Anyways, most outsiders and visiting academics don't know the first thing about how things work in Hong Kong. This doesn't look like a place where people are harmonized with anything. No, it isn't. Not at all. The feng shui in this walled city is completely screwed. I mean, just look at the place. She gestures at the squalor surrounding you. The key is all wrong here. You can feel it, right? I felt that something was wrong the minute I walked in. Bad key, huh? Key needs to flow. Positive feng shui allows that to happen. If key gets pent up and trapped, it goes sour. That's what's happening here. Woman clears her throat and then lets out a hacking cough. The effort requires a moment for her to recover before she speaks again. You know, I hate to admit it, but I could use some help. I started running, and, well, I guess you'd call it an experiment of sorts. Nothing conclusive, just a few quick trials to support my hypothesis before I go into hardcore data gathering mode. There are only a few things left to do. If you could finish them for me, I could get out of here. She holds out a crumpled piece of paper. Please, follow the notes in the sheet. Duncan takes the paper from her outstretched hand and examines it, frowning. Just say what you need us to do. I need you to make adjustments to the area's feng shui. My notes will tell you how. The goal is to remove sources of friction and to record the results. My hypothesis is that even small adjustments can have a measurable impact on key flow. If I'm right, it should improve, and life here should get just a little bit better. You rest. I'll take care of it. Inspect. Okay, I don't want to buy any of that crap. Yellow Lotus Captain. Here we go. Well-muscled and heavily tattooed tribe member looks over from his PDA. Bored but alert. Behind him, other Yellow Lotus soldiers take notice and turn to leer at you. You're in the wrong neighborhood, tourist boy. You and all your little tourist friends. I'm a local. I work for Kindly Cheng. Show me some respect. Triad soldier sneers at her. That's so. Then you already know that you shouldn't be here. That fossil doesn't run things around here anymore. His hand strays to his jacket and a conspicuous bulge in the fabric. Could be a gun, a knife, or a blackjack. Best get moving, little girl. Best move before we hurt you all real bad. I'm not going to tell you twice. We're here to deliver a message to Strangler Bow. Relax, we're just here to check in on the local merchants. Merchants belong to Bow now. He waves you off. Get lost. I'm okay with that. %, 65%, 82%. Ooh, we got lucky there. Okay, so we need to push up and get on that conjurer. But we need to kill this guy who's out in the middle of nowhere as well. Wow, that was really lucky. 91, huh? Can you kill him? Yes, you can. 94, huh? Okay, Isabel should come right up here. 83. Okay. We're just gonna try our luck, I think, really. It actually worked out okay. We need him to get closer. Wow, that's not good. Okay. It's interesting. I think they're just showing us a little bit about, like, kind of how things are going around here. Burning tires, baby. There we go. So we can go down there. We can go in guns blazing. I don't think I really wanted to do that. Oh, what is this? Its owner replaced by a pool of dried blood. Ugh, that's not cool. So, kind of want to see, like, there should be like a third spot that we repair to help the student out. But it might have been way back towards the beginning. Maybe not. That's where we first came in. Maybe the third thing is down in the basement. Yeah, we don't really want to go in the front door. We want to go around back. It's kind of the idea. Oh. Okay, now that's actually a perfect place since the game already saved itself. So it looks like we're going to go like underground to basically sneak into that den, whatever the hell it was, the Lotus Den or whatever. So that's cool, but we will be doing that next time. So for right now, we're going to be signing off. I would like to get more motivated to play video games right now, but right now I'm kind of just messed up. So like trying to do all kinds of different stuff here. So cleaning this, organizing that, figuring out what I'm supposed to do to pay the bills and blah blah blah. So curveballs getting thrown at me. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. Signing off. Catch you guys tomorrow.